Hi, Lotty from Metal Temple magazine. I have Charlotte Wessells from Delain on Skype this evening. So, Charlotte, how are you today?
I'm very fine, thank you. I just came from the studio. We're working on new music, so good
Ooh,
vibes.
fabulous. Yeah, because you will be releasing a new EP, Lunar Prelude.
Yes, we will in February.
And I've had a listen to it, and I've had a feel the newer songs particularly, they sound, well, at first listen they sounded a little lighter than what I've heard from Delain before. Wasn't sure if that was intentional or...
No, I don't think that was intentional. You know, usually when we're in the studio, when we're in the writing room, our main motto and mantra is to have everything heavier. But we're not, even though that's kind of a personal preference, we try not to be too judgmental of whatever ideas come to us in the writing room.
Yeah.
So if we have an idea which we really like, and it doesn't have double bass all over it, we'll take it.
Of course. No, I mean, I think that's probably at the first listen, and sometimes first impressions aren't... I mean, once I listened to it again, it was... Yeah. And looked at your website, and they say these are sort of leading into a new full-length album being released.
Exactly. We're already working on the full-length studio album that will be released later this year, and these two tracks are going to be featured on it. So this is kind of a preview of what's to come.
It's a pretty good preview so far, and there's a few live tracks on there too. Why those particular ones, if you don't mind me asking, those particular live tracks?
Well, we've been kind of living on stage last year. We've recorded so much with the Human Contradiction that, you know, this whole live world is becoming more and more important for us. Not only when we are on tour, but also when we're writing music. You know, we start to write more and more with the idea of the songs being performed live than when we started out. And so this is also one of the reasons why we think that, you know, these live tracks are a good fit after, you know, this year of massive touring.
Yeah.
And then how we chose this ones, well, they're still live tracks, so of course one of the criteria is which ones were performed the best. Yeah. And also we wanted to take material that was from our latest album, The Human Contradiction, because those have never been released live before. Yeah. And so that was what we were looking for, and we recorded during our last European headline tour.
Yeah. I was going to ask when they were recorded, actually. The live tracks, anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we set up, you know, the recordings on shows during our live show. I think one was in the Belgium show.
Okay.
And the others, it's kind of all blending together in my head, the tour. There was definitely one in Belgium. But,
I know, because like you said, last year, I think I didn't see one single, like, you seem to be on tour, like, most of last year, like, loads of appearances. I managed to see you guys twice last year. Mm-hmm. At that Sabaton, when you supported Sabaton, and when you appeared on the Sophie Lancaster stage at Bloodstock.
Yeah. And then, we've been to the UK quite some times.
Yeah.
With Sabaton and at Bloodstock, and then towards the end of the year we did the European headline show. I'm not sure, we were in the UK a third time on the European headline show.
That's right, yeah.
So well.
Yeah. Because that was sort of that wasn't your first time headlining in the UK, was it?
No, we've done quite a few. We made headlines the year before, or our bassist made headlines the year before when he had
when he had the testicle
accident. Exactly.
Yes.
So we've done the headline tours in the UK a couple of times before.
Yeah. And because you headlined the Sophie stage at Bloodstock Festival, and then because you guys chose to headline, you asked to play on the Sophie stage, which is very admirable, or was very admirable, well, seen as admirable in the metal community anyway, considering what it's about.
Yeah, I mean, we've been wanting to do that festival for a very long time.
Yeah.
We've heard good stories about it. Of course, we knew about the Sophie stage, and during the first talks about it, I heard mention of the other stage, and I thought if we're finally going to play the Bloodshed Festival, then it should be on the Sophie stage. And it was a very special evening. I think that a lot of people who were there who knew us kind of realized the significance for us to be there. And and Sophie Lancaster Foundation was there, of course, and I've been in good contact with them for a very long time. This was actually the first time that I got to meet Sophie's mom.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah, which was like 10 minutes before the show, and it was a rather emotional moment. So it was a very intense performance. Yeah. For many reasings.
Absolutely. So, I think particularly when you ended the show with "We Are the Others," and us playing that in that tent was a special moment for most of us, I think.
Yeah, I think so. It was special for us, and I had the feeling that it was kind of going through the venue. So
because the thing is, sort of represents that, you know, we're the outside, like we're the outcasts, we are the, you know, except we are the others.
Yeah.
Sorry. I want to mention going back to the EP, and it's sort of going the similar artwork to the human. The artwork on this EP was interesting to me. Was it supposed to represent anything in particular?
We were mentioning the artwork, which was similar to...
I think it was the human... actually, come to think of it, it was the album with Get the Devil Out of Me. I can't remember the name of that album now.
It was Weird Al. It's the same artist, actually. We've been...
fab.
Yeah, we've been working with Glenn Arthur for We Are the Others, and then Interlude after that, and we really love his work. I've been a fan of Glenn long before we started working with him, and we thought about going back to it and for this album, and we're really happy that we did.
Yeah. Let's talk about album artworks. This reminded me of so I had to help somebody out with their thesis about album artwork. Do you think the art's probably dying out because of digital downloads? It's a difficult one.
Yeah, I'm probably not the best person to answer it, because I'm such a big art lover that I could not imagine people really not caring about this. Even the things that I download on Spotify, I will at least check out the cover art and and consider whether I think it's fitting or whether I think it's cool. And I always think that I always have a visual image with music. So if I listen to a band and I can place it, I will often look at what do their photos look like, what does their artwork look like,
Absolutely.
what is their kind of visual point of reference. So I'm sure this is getting less important now that people don't have a physical product in their hands.
No.
I mean, back in the day, I used to buy albums because they had nice covers. I discovered a lot of bands because I bought the albums because of their covers.
Yeah.
This, I guess, you wouldn't do so much anymore, because you're not. It's not something that you don't put it on your coffee table, know, which I would do with a very pretty record. So I'm sure that it's getting less, but still, I think that it's very important, even if it's just in. We don't have that physical product playing the same role anymore. But then again, we do have our kind of online presence.
Yeah.
And here, the visual again is very interesting and very.
It is.
If you have a very good photo.
Yeah.
It can be shared as much as a very good song in a way. So.
Absolutely. I've tried out this question, considering God rest his soul. Because I'm not sure if you've heard, the Jack and Coke has now been named the Lemmy after, of course, Lemmy from Motorhead, and after fans petitioning to get it done. I was just wondering what drink would you like named after you?
A good smoky Scottish whiskey.
Good smoky, the Charlotte Wessells.
Yeah, Lefroy could make a Charlotte edition. They would have my permission.
We could order the Charlotte. Oh, thank you very much again. It's just a shame about the internet connection.
I'm sorry. Oh, next time, I'm sure I'm at home with my own steady connection. But it was a pleasure talking to you anyway.
Absolutely, yeah, it was lovely to speak to you again. All Charlotte's rule.
So, have a very good evening.
You too, Charlotte. Thank you.